Hello and welcome to another episode of Intune Training, the place to learn how to use Microsoft Intune, the Steve and Adam Show. Steve and Adam.
I'm Steve.
I'm Adam.
That's Adam.
That guy.
That guy. So what are we talking about today, Adam?
All right, we are in the final installment of our Enrollment Basics video series to go with our reboot. So today we are doing Google Chromebook. Chrome OS. So that's
Enterprise.
That's a cooler version of Android running on a laptop.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Ish. Adjacent.
I should bring my children in here because I know they use Chromebooks all day at school, and I don't know that I've ever used one.
So I'm surprised you don't have a spare one that we can just power wash and get going.
You know, they use all the ones they have at the school. By the way, Mr. V, if you're watching this, hey.
Hi, so Mr. V.
So Mr. V is the, I don't know his official title, but he's the computer teacher at the elementary school. And he is fantastic. He's got his own room with, he's got all the Chromebooks set up. The other day we went in for an open house and he had all of the, those Sphero, like the Sphero EDU. It's like these little robotic balls and you can use all the different programming and stuff in it. And the EDU ones actually have all the telemetry in them too for like all the gyroscopic things and all that stuff. So anyway, they got all the fun toys and things, and he's helping teach our children how to do computery things, and it's pretty neat. So hey, Mr. V. All right, so let's talk about Chromebooks. Sorry.
Okay.
He sometimes watches these, and so figure give him a shout out.
I agree with that. I've got no problems at all, Adam.
Yeah. But the viewers might. I'm sorry, viewers. Scroll forward. You're already doing that anyway.
Yeah, you're already scrubbing. That's
all right. Good. Chromebook.
Cool. Chromebook. So, but that goes against everything that's Microsoft, right? Like it's not in Intune would be the conversation that we typically have had.
Well, so we talked about this a little bit in the very beginning on why we're interested in enrolling devices into Intune, and it's less about enrolling them in an Intune, but really more about trusting the device or enrolling the device enough to establish a trust relationship with it for conditional access. So that's really kind of the main goal for some of these OSs, that we're not really pushing down configurations and policies and settings as much, but we at least want to be able to onboard them into the tenant to be able to apply policies and profile them to make sure that they are safe enough to access certain business data. Kind of the deal, exactly. Right? So with this one, it's, I don't know what the capabilities are actually. So this is going to be a fun one. I'm going to ask some questions as we go. Steve's done this a little bit. So let's give it a shot.
I've had a bit of play. Cool.
Now, I would assume we've already done Android enrollment, and that required Google. We didn't do Android. We did Android.
We've done Android.
We did Android.
We've done Android.
But does it not require the same Google Play connector and all that? It's a different thing. Okay.
Yeah. So let's going to quickly share my screen, and we're going to go to our usual Intune portal. I'll just give it a little bit of a zoom before people tell me I've got it wrong in the comments.
Look at that cool colorful icon on your taskbar down there.
This one. What's this?
Oh, is that Copilot? Oh,
wow.
What if we just ask it all how do we ask it?
How about we'll come back to that later?
Okay, fine.
Let's not derail the conversation. So if we go to devices, what you'll see along the top is all the platforms, right? So we've got Windows, iOS, iPadOS, macOS, Android, Linux. But if you scroll down a little bit, you actually have other devices, being Chrome OS Preview.
Oh.
Yeah. So if we click on that, what do we actually see in here? So I'm going to start top bottom up. So this is the connector. We've already connected it. The reason why it's already connected is because we had to transfer it from the old tenant and it took time and yeah.
So there's probably a docs page.
There is.
That walks you through how to do the connection. And I assume it's pretty minimal. You got to have a Google account and then you do a connector.
Sort of. So what you need to do on the Google side is you need to sign up to admin.google.com. To sign up to admin.google.com, you need to have at least one license of any of these. Let me go across here. So you need to have at least like a Business Plus with Enterprise Upgrade option.
So the browser cloud management is not enough.
No. So browser cloud management isn't enough, and that to get that is there's adventures to go through to get that, but we can talk about that a little bit in a minute because there's some really cool things that once you have admin.google.com working that you can set up in your environment, and we will show that because the whole process for Chrome OS is pretty straightforward. So what we've actually set up in our environment is we've hit the connect button. We've gone through all the prompts. We've already got our licenses set up in Google, which follow the bouncing ball. It's well documented. Don't really be too concerned about that. But when we come back over here, what that's then going to do is going to synchronize our device across. So we have a single device in our environment because.
So when you say synchronize it, was this already joined to Google Chrome or to the admin's console somehow?
Yep. So what I've done is I've registered that device into Chrome. So if you're already running Chrome, admin.google.com, with devices registered in there with your Chromebooks, this is where you can then literally just connect that and you'll see it appear in Intune for that single pane of glass for visibility and reporting.
So to get the device in here, if the device is brand new out of the box, would you be able to just put in a serial number and upload it, or do you have to do something?
And then what you can do is you can manually, or you can do a generate token and add it that way. This one here, this is converting existing devices. So you're downloading Chrome OS Flex, which is basically the install media to run on any device. Technically, it works on Hyper-V, but we haven't been able to get it to work because it's not been a high priority.
So then, having not walked through this yet, I'm just So is this? So would you assume that the device is already built at this stage before we get to the Intune piece?
So we don't install the OS. This is where we've picked up a device from factory and it's just been connected in to admin.google.com.
Oh, sorry, let me ask that a different way. So have you already logged into the Chromebook at this
previously?
Point?
Not right now. So think of this the same as it is autopilot. So I've used Power Wash. Power Wash is the equivalent of going in and doing a reset of the device. And we'll show you how that works when we go through the process. The other thing that we've set up is under security, if I hit the right button, and authentication and SSO with third-party IDP. I've also set up the connector for Microsoft for this. If we go over here to entra.microsoft.com, and I'll think for a second. And in here, if we go to enterprise applications, and we're just going to clear both of these because it will find it easier, and look for G Suite, or even just G. Google Cloud, this one here. So I've gone and enabled this in the tenant to do the single sign-on. What you do need to do is make sure you have your user group associated in here, and then it'll automatically register that device across when you sign in with whichever account you're using. Simple, right?
Yeah, so we needed the Google, one of the Google Enterprise licensed features enrolled and enabled in the admin.google.com portal. And then we need to register SSO with our Azure AD tenant, intra ID tenant. And we need to then upload a device into the Google portal. So, is it safe to say that the admin.google.com portal is equivalent to the Intune portal? Is it Google Chrome OS MDM?
Well, let's even take it to that one step further. If I expand out mobile and endpoints, what I'm going to see in here, hang on, where is it? Devices, no, not devices, settings. If I expand out settings, it's actually its own MDM.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So this is where you can actually manage more than just Chrome OS with admin.google.com.
Okay. So then are we building the Chrome OS or the Chromebook? Are we enrolling it into Google's MDM first and then enrolling it into, or not enrolling, but registering it into Intune for conditional access stuff, compliance?
Basically, we are consuming the admin.google.com data in Intune.
Okay. That's the connection I was trying to establish there. Okay. So we're not Google or Intune is not becoming the MDM for the Chromebook.
Nope.
The Google admin.google.com is the MDM
so you do
for the
everything
Chromebook.
over here.
You enroll it and do it and manage it all over here. And then we're just connecting it into Intune so that we can get compliance data off of it to use for conditional access.
Correct.
Okay.
So what you'll see here is I've gone and configured a couple of settings for our browser because, well, not, hang on, group for desktop. No, we want to go here. We want to go platform and we want to do Chrome OS and we hit apply. And you'll see that I've set some wallpapers. I've said you have to do a pin, color theme to be dark always, and turning on Linux apps for users because I can. But this is configuring all of that in your environment.
Okay.
Cool, right?
Cool. Yep.
So from an Intune point of view, we consume that data. If we go to apps, we don't actually see it there as a platform. If we go to endpoint security, we're not going to see anything there.
So this is basically equivalent to the Linux registration bit here, where it's just we're just connecting it enough so we can get compliance information off of it.
Well, we don't even have compliance, other than we see compliance there.
We can get data that we can use for compliance.
Correct.
Conditional access related things.
Correct.
Okay. And so so then, sorry, folks, to walk you through this. So all the Chrome admins are like, just shut up and move on. But this I've never used Chrome, managed Chrome. So so if you're a Chrome admin, you already know how to do all of that. You've already established that portal. You're doing that anyway. And so I'm just wasting your time. So sorry, but I'm learning as we go. All right.
Exactly. And that's what it's all about is we want to talk through and see how all of this works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go across to my Chromebook and show you that out-of-box experience because not everybody has seen this. So let's just step through it. And I do apologize now. I'm going to be looking away from the camera while I actually work on the actual laptop itself. So we go here and we're just going to go get started. First thing you'll note is it's going to go, hey, I'm getting your device ready and here's your enterprise enrollment. Looks a lot like the autopilot out-of-box experience, right? A configuration has been made centrally to explicitly say this is an enterprise managed device. I then go done. And from here, you're going to see that it's going to start applying our policy. So it went dark theme and then back. We added a wallpaper previously being the Northern Lights, but we now have the ability here, and this is our SSO with third-party IDP, where we can connect in, and if I can type my name correctly,
Steven.
I can sign in and go through that authentication process. So this is using my AAD account, as we know. Entra ID account, not Entra. And that's going in and setting it up and signing me in and doing everything required. It's then going and sorting it out with Google.
Instead of using a Google account or something like that. Okay.
Yep.
Now, could we do this with a Google? If we had our Intune training alias with our Google tenant, we could sign in with that and then still connect over to Azure AD, Intra ID.
Well, yes, because then what you would do is you'd do the authentication then at the application level, not at the device level.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay.
But it would still synchronize across because Chrome, what we're synchronizing isn't part of that identity. So I'm just going to turn on sync because I like turning on sync, and I'm going to hit skip my PIN because I can't be bothered setting that up. I definitely accept all of that information if it's going to let me, which it's not. So I'm just going to hit no thanks because it's quicker. We can set all of this configuration, and there you go. So now we have our Intune training wallpaper. Simple, right? So we're registered. And that, from an end user point of view, that's me done. I don't need to do anything else. I can just go and start using this as if it's a normal device. I can go here to Chrome and I can go portal.office.com and I'll be able to go and access all of my data. And did you notice that just went through and did that single seamless sign-on for us?
Yeah, that's nice.
Pretty slick, right? So that's because we've got that seamless single sign-on for the IDP, or being Intune, not Intune, Entra ID, handling that process.
And so is your account that you're logging into the box with at this point, you're logging in with your Azure AD SSO credential as your identity on the device?
That's correct.
Okay.
So it's actually using that account because it's linked to.
Yeah, so it's equivalent to what you'd get if you logged into an autopilot Azure AD only box. And
correct.
Okay.
Correct. So then I have the ability, I can see my inbox, I can see everything there. Great. What we can also do is we've got our extensions here, and you can do a whole heap of managed extensions. All of that can be managed on the back end. So let's quickly bounce back across to the back end. And let's have a quick look at our devices here. So we're going to go devices. Yep. What I should see here, why am I not seeing all devices? And if I click on this device, you'll see that it's now provisioned. And you'll see that it is compliant when it was enrolled and everything associated on that. We can see the recent users, and this is where it gets really cool from a data point of view. I can start seeing like the CPU heat. I can see the storage. I can see the memory usage. I can see the recent activities, everything associated with that. Firmware versions, because it's a closed ecosystem, it has more visibilities to what is actually in there. So if we go back over here and I go to properties, what we should be able to see is all of the information about that device. Very simple because it's the standard. And then we go to system information, and in that system information, we're going to see all of the information that we just saw previously. And there's the version, and you'll see that it has just come through, last enrollment time of right now. From here, we can see that the recent users, we can see activity hours, how long it's used for, how often, all our CPU stats, and all of the information about the storage. Pretty simple, right?
Yep.
And that's by design, because the visibility in here is all about seeing if we can get that compliant component. So is the device compliant or not? Yes, no. So if we go back here, what should happen eventually is that will change to compliant, because It just takes time to process. And that's it. We're set up. But what we can do, and this is where it gets really cool, is I'm going to sit here. I'm going to go to Intune. I'm going to select that device, and I'm going to hit deprovision. Actually, no, I'm not going to select deprovision. I'm going to hit wipe. I'm going to power wash. So when I say power wash, this is literally what it is. It's factory resetting the device. So I'm going to send the wipe command now.
Oh, that's cool. So you do have some minimal functionality for the portal. Now,
and if I go back to my device, that's already started the power wash process.
Holy cow, that's fast.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you had signed in with a different user account, or if you had done it at the app layer instead of the OS layer, would you have still had the same level of control? Would you have been able to do power wash on the device? Like, because I'm trying to see if there's a difference between like personally owned enrolled versus corporate.
So if the device is registered into your admin.google portal, yes. So
okay, so then the Google portal is establishing ownership.
That's right.
And if it's already owned, then Intune can also own it, Google's extending the management into Intune so it can also control it.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's just an extension of the management plane.
Wow, that was a fast reset. Good grief.
Yep.
I mean, you didn't have anything on it, and it's just leaving the same OS there. So yeah,
that's exactly it. But it's the same OS, but because it's all web based, away we go.
The way that you guys spell enroll and enrollment is tripping me out every time I see it. I'm like, they've misspelled it. It needs a double L. It's hilarious.
No, we're not even going to go down that journey yet.
I know. I'm just saying it's, I keep seeing it. I'm like, it's
not misspelled. It's just different.
I didn't. My brain keeps telling me it's misspelled, but I do recognize other cultures, and you guys have to spell things differently.
Yes,
I didn't say wrong.
Correct. Well, anyway, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole.
All right.
So what I'm going to quickly do while we're in here as well, because I think the value add that we can talk about as to why you want to have and go through the effort of setting up admin.google.com is also manage browsers. If you haven't already got this set up, you want to set this up. Do you have it set up in your own organization now?
No, we've talked about it before. We've just never gotten there, and we're managing Chrome through Intune policies. And we just did the ADMX ingestion recently to get the Google update piece, but the Intune policies include Google Chrome in the policies. Interestingly, they don't have the Google update management piece imported in that as well, which is kind of weird. So, but ADMX ingestion took care of it, and we were able to set up all the things we need for it.
Yeah. So this is where you can go in and create that token and send it out. So if a user ever installs Chrome on any of your corporate devices, it'll automatically get flipped into a corporate-owned device, a corporate-owned browser.
Ah, okay.
So that's where you get the value add, because it doesn't matter if it's in the user context or the system context. It just goes, yoink, it is now enterprise managed. And
we've got ours set in policy to force it to auto sign in with your work account. So I think that might not be exactly the same thing, but we're at least forcing that.
It is to a point, but this is where you can then sit there centrally and fully control that, because some group policy doesn't always apply depending on the scenario. And this is applied to the user object. So even if they use this at home, you can also start putting controls around that as well.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So I'm just going to quickly install Chrome on this device if it allows me. It might catch fire because I've already installed it 3 times and removed it 3 times today. So what I've set up while I'm waiting for this to go through, let me just talk through what I've actually set up on the device already. Oh, not on the device, in the settings. Is I've done a very simple created a token. I've gone in here. Let me change this from platform to... So you've got options here for different scenarios. So Chrome for desktop, Android, iPhones, or Chrome OS. you can go in here and select that desktop, right? We then click off it, and what should happen is it should... Oh, it's unhappy with me. I think I'm making too many dramatic changes.
That's all right.
Oh, my computer's... Something's gone wrong with my computer.
Pushed it too hard, man.
Task manager. All right, let me just kill process. We'll go from there. Wow. I'm sorry, viewers. I think we're going to have to call it at that.
Yeah, we should just rewind the tape and
we'll cut out
that whole section.
Yep.
But if you're hearing this, then Steve didn't do that.
Yeah, we'll blame Steve. Oh, look, it's started to boot up now. So we're just going to close that one, and then we're going to... Oh, I love that. Because I hit... No. Because I hit no close on the UAC. It's now saying, do you want to install it into the user context? So we'll just quickly install that into the user context. And we're just going to sign into this one. And I'm probably going to get prompted for an MFA, so just bear with me. Yeah, there we go. Good luck if you try to use that authentication code when you're watching the video. It's not going to work. So what you'll see here is, let's just change this one to Chrome Desktop. We're going to hit apply. And then we're going to go over here. And you'll note that it's auto signed in, I think. No, it hasn't. So we're just going to turn into sync. But you'll note that it's blue. And that is blue because I've said it needs to use the same color as what we're using for our Intune theme. And I've just signed in with my AAD account. And you'll see that it's now an organized managed profile. Got it. Cool. So one thing that we can do here, let me go back over to this browser. So there's the color theme that I've said. I've said go and sign in, do all of the cool stuff, enable cloud auth and things like that. Great. So if I go here, if I go to portal.office.com, what should happen is it should automatically authenticate seamlessly into the OS.
And the device you're running on is not in any way Intune managed in our tenant, right?
Yes, it is.
So this Windows OS is managed in our Intune. Okay, sorry, correct. I thought this was a demo box that didn't have. It wasn't.
No.
Okay.
No. All of my demos are going to be off the same VM that's running and managed in the Intune training tenant. You can tell that because it's got the IT down the bottom.
Gotcha.
So here we've got that. We're happy days. We can see all of that information. We are connected in. But what we can also do, and this is where it starts getting really cool, is you can go in here and you can say, well, I need explicit extensions to be installed on all of my browsers. So I can go here and let's go here. We go to users and browsers. And we hit add, and we're going to, so you've got home pages, Chrome apps by extension, Play Store apps. But this last one here, add from Chrome Web Store. And what we're going to add is, well, I use OnePass. So let's do a quick search for that. Let's use this one here, 1Password. Feel free to use your own password manager, but this is the one I use. So I'm going to select that. And from here, I can sit there and go locally added, but I want to go and pin it to the toolbar. So I'll pin it at the top here. If I go, yep, cool, done, and I hit save. And now I go back over here. I'm going to close out of Chrome. I'm going to open that back up. And what should happen is I should get that installed and pinned automatically to the taskbar. And there you go. And now it's saying, do you want to sign in? How cool is that, right?
That's fast.
Yeah. So one thing that I should note is I've put a registry key in this device as well for the device management component. So if I go to my documents, all that I've done, and this is created automatically when you create the token, it goes, hey, go and register this. You can just go and run this on your devices. So you can deploy this out using Intune policy to set that registry key, and then any device that has that key will automatically be forced and registered into your organizational tenant. Then you can sit there and break it down into different organizational units and things like that. But why is this important is you go and deploy this, you force your users to sign in, and they do have to authenticate because we don't have the control to force them to sign in. But once you do that, you can say import all the policies from the other profiles, and then it centralizes all of your favorites and all of your configurations that they've got sitting on their client computers that haven't been getting roamed from computer to computer when using Chrome. So you can start forcing them to do that, and you can start putting in controls associated with that. Cool, right?
Yep. And so whatever the bits are related to conditional access that may come with this, we will ideally cover all collectively in a compliance video that we're going to, or conditional access / compliance video that we're going to do shortly following this one.
Yeah.
All righty.
Awesome.
Well, I think we killed that one.
Yeah, I think so. Go team. This guy's been awesome.
Yeah. This guy. You're way too far. There it is. See, we practiced that. You're proud. All right. Well, that's it, Steve.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.